Say what?
She's not going to tell everybody that the reason she can't come to the Leroy shop.
Okay.
I know that for a fact.
All right.
It's live.
Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here, and I'm getting set up for my live stream. So let me see if it's actually up and running. We are here at the we're at New Year's Eve for the NFL season, and hope all you guys are doing well. There's a lot of different things that are going on, and I thought I'd come on live here. This is becoming a daily occurrence. You know, yesterday and the day before, I did a live stream first thing in the morning. So if anybody's there, if anybody can hear me, yeah, brother, can you see me? Let me know if you do, and how I sound. Working at the lab, busy. What kind of lab do you work at, Rudy? Well, here we go, touching my face. My lab would be actually here at the house. We are hunkering down. I've been working on. Good afternoon. How you doing, T Swivel? T Swivel. How you doing? Whoa. Okay. So it just jumped up to 23 people watching. So let me know if the sound is okay. If I need to turn it up, or if we've got kind of the or anything like that. I guess I can put the sound on here myself and see if I hear anything. So let me know if the sound is okay. If I need to turn it up, or if we've got kind of the or anything like that. So, you know, I've been doing a couple of different things. One, I've been using this Mevo camera. You know, it's amazing because, well, and I'm using a plugged-in lavalier mic, which is, you don't have to worry about the battery going dead or anything like that, but you are corded to it. But I think it sounds good. I mean, I think it sounds better. High Complexity Medical Laboratory in South Texas. Okay, are you working on the coronavirus? Because I think Trump ended up using a bill or a law that basically enables the government to say everybody needs to be working on medical supplies and, you know, laboratories to help fight this thing. And hopefully they find something real good. I have a nice homestead. Thank you. Me and my daughter and my son and everybody, when we moved here, we actually dug that out with shovels to build it. So yeah, it's been here for a long time. And this house, when we got it, it was in terrible shape. I mean, bad shape. So we have completely rebuilt it over the years and changed it and things. So I'm lucky that I do what I do, because that makes it a lot easier to keep going. Yes, high volume. Is it too high? Is it too high? That's what I want to know. My daughter and my son and everybody. Okay, so testing. Okay. Well, hopefully they come up with a cure for this thing sometime in the very near future, because it's getting crazy out. How you doing, Maui? What's happening? I have a nice place. I appreciate it. I've been working on it for years, and it's constantly a labor of love. I really need to rebuild this deck, because that's original, and it just needs some work. So our Dallas Cowboys, well, they are beginning to be players in free agency. It's spot on here. Cool. Glad to hear that. The Cowboys look to be players in free agency. I'm actually very happy with the deal that they got for Gerald McCoy. You think of what Robert Quinn got money-wise. He got paid. I mean, 5 years, $70 million. I'm happy for him, but that's just more than we can afford right now. Getting Gerald McCoy for what we got him for, we're talking about $6 million a year. That's a really, really good deal, and I'm happy about that. So hopefully we can continue getting deals like this. So the Cowboys are kicking the tires with Emmanuel Sanders, who he's a Dallas guy. He lives in Dallas or works out in Dallas. He's old. He's not a spring chicken, and he may be. Forgive me. Look, damn, my nose is itching. Shit. How am I gonna scratch my nose? Damn. Okay. Sorry. I just used. Believe me. Before I came out here, I used stuff. Could Antonio Brown join Tom Brady at the Buccaneers? Man, you know what? I could care less. As long as that guy don't mess up my team, I'm good. K. Roman. Well, not to say that you're an idiot, K. Roman, but you're an idiot. So, who's going to be your quarterback? Who's going to be your quarterback? That's what I want to know. When you say something like that, say, I think that they should trade Dak Prescott and get blank, and this is a plan where we're going to be better. Because if you're not going to at least come up with a plan or a solution to make the team better, don't come in with stupid shit. Okay? Because first thing, until Dak Prescott signs a franchise tag, you can't trade him. He doesn't belong to you until he signs that contract. Dak Prescott's not going to sign a franchise tag until he absolutely positively has to, which would be basically at training camp. Okay? At training camp, at that point, you don't have another plan for another quarterback. Even if you traded for him then, you've wasted a whole off season. So explain to me where you think we're going to go ahead, that Dak's going to sign this piece of paper and say, go ahead, trade me, I'm cool. And you're going to get some draft picks, take all of them to try and move up, or are you going to get Jameis Winston? Is that what you're going to do? Is that what you're going to do? Do I have it right? He's in a fantasy world. He's more like in stupid world. I'm sorry. I like I said, I'm giving you the floor. Okay? I want to know, because I constantly hear this stuff. Give me a solution. Okay, you came up with a thought and said we should trade Dak Prescott. So with that, say these are the reasons why I think we should, and what we're going to do that will make us better. How about that? Got some icky trolls in here. Well, you know what? It's funny because I realize what they're like, because I've been, to pass the time, I've been keeping busy. So I've been working on the outside of the house. The weather for the first couple of days since we've been back have been really nice. Although it's going to rain this afternoon, but it's still like in the 60s. I think Friday it's supposed to be like 78, and then Sunday night they're talking about snow, because that's how it is here. Who will be next person Dallas signs? I wish I could tell you, Ruben, but they're definitely looking around. What the Cowboys are trying to do, I think, one, you have to look at Gerald McCoy being a good signing for the price tag. If he still has a little bit left, and he showed that he had 5 sacks, 37 tackles, and a couple of pass defenses, he can get a good push up the middle, which is something we need. I would like to. I've said this morning that I would like to see a nose tackle. If we could get Snacks Harrison for a reasonable contract, I'd be more than happy to bring that guy in. Desmond Trufant, I think, would not be a bad one if there's mutual interest. I hear the Redskins are interested in him as well. We'll have to wait and see if anything comes above that, by that. But what the Cowboys, Emmanuel Sanders, I think might be a little old. But what the Cowboys are trying to do is, let's go through a free agency and fill in the holes with guys that we feel that are at least capable of playing. So that's your first option. And what that'll enable them to do is, come draft time, instead of saying we need a defensive lineman, and you reach, because we've done that twice now. We ended up getting Tristan Hill last year because we said we need help on the defensive line. We've got a late second-round pick. This is the best guy that we think that's out there. Now, that's not to say that Tristan Hill doesn't get it this year, and with different coaching doesn't, end up becoming a decent player. Sometimes defensive linemen take time to develop. They don't normally come out the box and become Reggie White first thing. But we also did that as well when it came to Taco. The way the draft was setting up was all the edge rushers and things were going off the board. We had that late first round pick, and we looked at it and said, cornerbacks, there's a lot of them, you can probably get one later. Let's go ahead and try and get the defensive line taken care of. And that's what we did, and we kind of reached for Taco. Now, I'm not saying that Taco is a bust, but Taco, didn't do it real well for us. Again, change of scenery may have been good for him. So we'll have to see how that goes. Definitely need a tight end. For me, tight end is in there, but not in the first 2 rounds. Not so sure how good a blocker Blake is. Well, Dak says goodbye to Dallas. Okay, beast mode, get out of here, dude. You say Trefont? Bleh. Is that a throw-up face? Chris Harris is another guy that supposedly there's interest in as well, so we'll have to wait and see if that one works out. Mad Magic? I'm not going to say he's a bust because did you see what he did in Miami? Do you realize that he had the same amount of sacks as D-Law? Yeah. Change of scenery actually worked really well for him. He may not have had enough opportunities with the Cowboys and just kind of checked out. You want a refrigerator-loving defensive fat dude in the middle. I agree with you. Cowboys just signed who? Maurice. I don't know who that is. Sorry, I'm getting kind of, oops, that's the camera up here. Oh, I can't do that on this one, can I? Okay. Can't see the chats on that. Okay. So, Mark, I mean, if he had some cleanup sacks, it was nothing crazy. Okay.
Why do they keep saying that we don't have? My question is, why do they keep rolling on the TV that Dallas Cowboys will get wide receiver in the first round?
Because it gets people's.
They said the same about the Eagles too, but the Eagles don't need a wide receiver in the first round.
I think I would probably shit if we ended up having all these holes on defense and drafted a wide receiver in the first.
Nothing else, we need a tight end on offense.
Okay, so Maurice Cady from the Jets.
I don't know
Okay.
if we got the tight end with the first pick. You get a wide receiver?
Let me look up his stats.
How much is stupid?
From Richmond, Virginia.
Oh,
42 tackles. Don't know him, but 2019 played in 13 games, started 3 games, had 1 interception. Well, that'd actually be one of the top ones on our team. 1 forced fumble. He also played for Baltimore and the Jets. So he played for Baltimore and the Jets. So he started 13 games. His career, he has 32 games under him. Has 4 starts, 1 interception, 1 fumble return, and 80 tackles. Okay, so he would be some depth and probably inexpensive. Okay, a slot corner from the Vikings. Yeah, that's what I said. Who is Maurice Cady? Maurice Cady is he played with Baltimore his first 3 years, and basically rode the bench. In those 3 years in Baltimore, he ended up playing. He had 1 start and had about 40 tackles with his 3 years in Baltimore. Last year, he was with Baltimore and the Jets. 5 games with Baltimore and then 8 games with the Jets. And so last year he had 3 starts, 46 tackles, and 1 tackle for a loss. So definitely some depth, and or maybe a guy that they can coach up.
Mark Lawrence going to do that in 3 games.
A slot corner. Okay, wait a minute, a slot. Laughing my ass off. Who the hell? I love that. Who the hell is Maurice Cady?
It's better than the Marcus Lawrence because Marcus Lawrence couldn't do that in 3 games.
Oh, we got 8 minutes left to the beginning of the year. Good afternoon. How are you doing? Oh, Philly 76. Have you been checking your wife's temperature? You got to make sure she's not getting a fever. And I've been checking mine too because, she's had a sneeze or two. I want to make sure she's not getting that fever because that's one of the signs you got to look out for. We need some snacks. I agree. So Tierra, what's going on? How are you doing today?
How many years is Tom Brady in? It says 30 million. How many years?
Did he get 30 million?
Yeah, he got 30 million.
30 million per year. Okay.
I don't know how many years it is. I knew he got 30, but I don't know how many years it was.
All right. Well, we're gonna make a cowboy blue.
Wouldn't that be something? Tom Brady and Drew Brees playing against each other for
A Super Bowl?
They're in the same division.
Oh, that's right. That's going to be big. I hadn't even
one
thought.
of them retires, then when you're playing against each other.
That hasn't even sunk in. So here's what we doing here today. Okay, we got ourselves. This is a cowboy blue drink right here that we're gonna have.
Somebody with the Buccaneers used to be with the Patriots. That's why he went there. He has and he also has family out that way too.
Probably.
That's why I chose the Buccaneers over any other team. Mainly
You want Eric Reed for a vacant safety? Interesting. We'll see what they do.
Watch. I put money on it.
Okay, so K. Roman, I see you're just a straight. Okay, so K. Roman, you're just an ass that just hates Dak Prescott because I see, because of the words you use, there's certain key words that are automatically blocked. So if you use them, it times it out for a check. So when you go through and you start saying things like that about my quarterback, we just know that you're like those weeds out there, man. You're just growing everywhere. So feel free to take your behind out, okay? Yo, what's up, Vampire Prince? How you doing? We need to get C.J. Henderson. Okay. Eric Reed is not going to play for the Cowboys? Probably not. He was part of the anthem protest, and that's where I was looking at saying, I'd love to get DeMario Davis and stuff, but politically, the Cowboys wouldn't do that. Mad Magic. Let's see. First row safety, second round. First round. Here's the thing. Safeties you can get in the second round. We could have gotten Warren Thornhill after Tristan last year. Do you realize that? And I need to find that video or actually start doing the research on it. But an interesting thing is there's been a lot of safeties taken kind of high. And when you have a year where you have a lot of safeties taken high, then the next 2 years you don't have safeties taken very high. And we had, going into last year, 2 big numbers of safeties being taken. And so, just like I was saying in the first round, there weren't but 1. And so that's one of those ones that safety you can actually do in the second round. I still want that beast in the middle. That's just me. That's the biggest pound for the the buck. Or I'm not saying that right. I'm saying that wrong. Pound for the buck? That's not right. I can't remember. But you know what I'm saying. You're going to get the most out of having a pass rusher. You get more from that than you are necessarily from a safety. Because that guy, if we can get that push in the middle, that's going to make all the difference in the world when you end up having McCoy, have D-Law coming from the outside. If you can also collapse that pocket and things, it's going to be better than if you just get one cornerback. Byron Jones played real good, and yeah, I get that. But see, Byron Jones wasn't going to be the be-all, end-all because you still have to worry about the other cornerbacks and things. You get that push, you're going to start getting takeaways. You're going to make that quarterback throw that ball quicker. And that's where I like to. There you go. Brozelli? Bang for the buck. That's it. Bang for the buck. Thank you. Haven't been sleeping well at night, man, and it's just like there's been so much stuff going on that the brain just don't seem to be working right. Jamal Adams, they are working on making a long-term deal for him, and they wanted way too damn much. They wanted a first-round pick in Zach Martin. Sorry, that ain't going to happen. And it's just like some people's like, hey, let's get Giovanni and Clowney. First of all, let's think about this with Giovanni and Clowney. Clowney has never had a 10-sack season. Never. He's coming off a 3-sack year last year with Seattle, where they traded to get a lot to get him. And he wants 22, 23 mil. Not going to happen. Any word on Manuel Sanders? Just that they're interested. Jeff Heath signed for $6 million to the Raiders. No, we're not trading picks. No, it's not worth it. Not worth it. I like him. Clowney is lazy. Clowney is overrated, but sacks aren't everything. We need a lot. Look at pressure rate. Well, that's where you get Gerald McCoy. Gerald McCoy was 13th in defensive lineman in pressures with, I think, 42 last year. So, yeah. Yeah, Clowney actually had the microfracture surgery on his knee, that surgery of last resort. So, yeah, but that was several years ago. He's actually stayed healthy. But don't know about Jeff Heath if he's starting or not. Yeah, we saw Maurice Candy, who played with the Ravens his first 3.5 years and then went to the Jets. A guy who's got 86 tackles, 1 interception, so on. Well, the Cowboys are doing what they usually the Cowboys don't fill any holes till the second week of free agency. So they're actually in the game early. Look here. Wait until July and we get Dak's deal done. Why wait until? Yeah, do it now. Thank you. That would seem to make more sense to me, but they've done some things to get some extra cash because they didn't redo Cam Fleming. They didn't take the option year. That's saving $5.1 million. They've restructured Lyle Collins as well as Zeke Elliott's and got another $4 million. So they got $9 million right there. But I'm with you. Get Dak's deal done, and you're going to save some more money. So a lot of people keep saying that Dak, he wants $40 million. He wants to be this, that, and the other. No, actually, it's not that. From what we've heard, that the dollar amount was okay. Tom Brady just got 30. We know Ryan Tannehill got 29.5. We know Kirk Cousins got 33. That he was okay with that number, but it's a matter of how many years. The Cowboys want to have a longer contract. Dak wants to have a shorter one. So all you guys that hate Dak Prescott and say he's a bum, he's going to be a bust in a couple of years. Well, he's trying to get a shorter deal. So that should make you happy, wouldn't you think? Who's going to back up left tackle? That is a good question. We do have Connor Williams, who actually wants to play tackle. Depending on how Connor McGovern plays, you could see Connor McGovern actually playing guard or center, so he could become the backup guy. So far, I haven't heard anything about Joe Looney going anyplace. I would still like to bring back Joe Looney. That's just me. Well, I'm actually surprised that he's not signed already by somebody else. Brent, yeah, they are now the Cowboys West. It's funny, I see people walking down the trail. So I'm curious. Happy New Year! It's 4 o'clock. It's the NFL New Year. Woo! May this new year be a better year for our Dallas Cowboys. Looney Tunes. Yeah, I like Looney Tunes. I hope we can find a way to bring him back, man, because, for him to play, he got a lot of experience when Travis Frederick went down. He wasn't the best in the world. That last game, he was getting eaten up by Ndamukong Suh and stuff. But he's still a really good player, and he can play guard or tackle. Now, Connor McGovern, he can play guard or center. Connor Williams, who, he's been injured twice. I'm still not quite sold on him. He's a capable guard, but he really wants to play tackle. So depending, maybe what you end up having is you have a competition for starting guard with Connor Williams and Connor McGovern. Like I said, Connor McGovern, when we met, remember we met him last year? He looked like he still had that baby build on him. He had the injury, of course, but he needed to get that, man body and stuff. So if he builds up a bit, you might say, let's have a competition on that, and maybe Connor Williams becomes the swing tackle. I don't know. That's a possibility. You think they're going to get Emmanuel Sanders? Could be. They're talking about one. You don't know what you don't know. Well, and the way I see it, what they're trying to do is, if we can fill in the holes, if we can get, don't go to it. I'll be right back. Hello. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Wife's got a bandwidth issue, so I'm going to have to reboot the router and stuff and see if that helps her out. So hopefully I didn't lose you guys, but I'm going to finish. We'll stay on here for a few more minutes, and I got to do that. Namakatsu, that's too old. He's too old now. Derek Young, how you doing? Eaton, how you doing? Mad Magic, Nesmeyer Jackson. When is free agency over? It's not over. It's just beginning. Free agency goes on until the season. But this is the first wave. This is when teams start trying to release guys, clear up cap room, and grab the best players out there. You're going to have a couple of different, Yeah, Nick Foles. Interesting. I wonder how much they're going to pay Nick Foles. So Nick Foles is with the Bears, and it looks like Jameis Winston is going to be holding the bag. Although I know what you trolls. You trolls out there say, let's go ahead and sign Jameis Winston because we can get him for less money. We can save some money on Dak Prescott. I know that's what you're saying. I know you guys. Chaz Green couldn't block Mark Holmes. Damn. What do you think of Randy Moses? Randy Moss' son is a wide receiver. I really don't know that much. Theismann on Tua. Redskins cannot pass on Chase Young. I wouldn't mind getting Trufant as a quarterback too. Sorry, that was the liquor. That wasn't the Corona. It wasn't the Corona. That was the Malibu. Winston might go to the Jaguars. I would like to draft Devin Devery for the slot. Okay. So Chris Harris is interested in the Chargers and the Saints. Okay, which might be why they're looking at Trufant. The Redskins are also looking at Trufant. How am I doing today? I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Corona. Truth. Muss is really good, actually, but okay. You love rum? Me too. You think McCoy and Sue were in the same draft class? I think Sue's got a few harder miles put on his body than McCoy did. Arr! TR. Arr! There we go. Arg! Okay. Eagles, I hear, are making a strong push for Chris Harris. So far, the Eagles have been striking out. I really think Jameis is going there too. Trufant is coming to us. Chris Harris lives in Dallas. We need a backup quarterback. Okay, so who you want to sign for a backup? I mean, you don't have money to get. Here's the thing you got to look at. Most of the guys out there that you could sign for quarterback are stiffs. What you need to do is make sure that you can keep your quarterback upright. Quite frankly, you're rolling the dice on every position. You are guessing which is going to be the best spot to hopefully hold on to a couple of guys. It really is. So, I don't have the final numbers right now, but see, his deal was basically $6 million a year. I don't know what the final cap number is, depending on how much was the signing bonus and stuff. It's really very fluid right now. We had, I want to say that started 77. We lost some because of the raises. That took us down to 74. 74 when you got Dax, that led us to 31. And then Amari's deal, I think, is 10 the first year. So we have about 20 something, I think like 22 before McCoy's. And I don't know what McCoy's is going to be. But then, I'm sorry, let me add to that. So we had about 22 plus the 9 between Cam Fleming and Lyle Collins and Zeke Elliott. So that's 30. Let me see if Over the Cap has an updated version because it changes so quickly, you just don't know. And there's other ways. If the Cowboys deem there's a guy we really want to get, if they let Tyrone Crawford go or restructure his deal, you've got $8.5 million that you can get right there. If you want to get some money from okay, so right now, Over the Cap has got $21.5 million, and that has Dak Prescott's number in there. Let me see. D-Law, Zach Martin, Tyron Smith, Amari Cooper. Yeah, that has Amari Cooper. So Amari's number is actually $12 million. And see, this is the thing that's ridiculous is because If the Cowboys were to go ahead and do Dak Prescott's deal, you get another $10 million, roughly. I mean, somewhere in there. Because Amari Cooper's deal is basically $20 million a year, but this first year it's only 12. So by getting him, instead of tagging him, you saved basically $8 million on the cap. So they've got 21 to deal with at the moment, and Gerald McCoy's number's in there. So we got 21 right now, and we got Dak, we got Amari, we got Gerald McCoy, and we still have 21 million left. So we're actually doing pretty good. And if they got Dak's done, we still have 28. And you got Blake Jarwin's deal done, so you're actually not doing bad. If they want to get some more money, because you've got a guy like Zach Martin whose cap number is 15 million for this year. I'll give you an example. His cap number is 15 million. His base salary for this year is $11 million. So what you can do is you can say, okay, we're going to take 10 million of that dollars. We're going to change your base salary to 1 million this year. I'm just going to give you the check right now. And you basically take that over the lifetime of the contract. Follow me? So I'm not sure how many years are left on his contract, but let's say it's 3 years or 4 years. So that's $2.5 million a year that it's going to cost you. $2.5 million this year, $2.5 million next year, $2.5 million the next year. So that means you are basically taking his money and spreading it out like a payday loan, and you're creating $7.5 million of space. So that's one of the things that they can do if they want more money. So right now, with Gerald McCoy, with Amari Cooper and Dak being on the franchise tag, we still have $21.5 million. That's not bad. So if you end up signing, Trufant or something like that, maybe you're going to eat up about $5 more million this year or something like that. So you still have room to maneuver, and you still have ways to get more cash if you want to. Like I said, Tyrone Crawford, you can get $8.5 million if you just say bye-bye or boy bye, or you can try and restructure him. So we're okay. Sign Kyle Orton. Really? You could cut him and sign him for less. He said, he'd like to restructure his deal. See, here's the difference. A lot of people will hear, oh man, Zeke Elliott, he restructured his deal. He's a team player. Not so much. Because there's a difference between restructuring and reducing. Restructuring does not mean you give any money back. It doesn't. In fact, it behooves the player to get a restructured deal, because what it is it's taking not guaranteed money and turning into guaranteed money, or taking not guaranteed money and turning into signing bonus money. Either way, it's taking money that you weren't definitely going to get and now saying you're going to get it. And it kicks the money. You're getting the check now. You're getting paid now for it, but you're kicking the terms of that down the road. So for the player, hey, it's cool. But most people think, when they heard Tony Romo restructured his contract, see, that's a real quarterback. He's a team guy. It's like, you don't really understand it though, do you? You don't really understand how that works, right? Because he didn't give any money back. That's not what we're talking about. Tyrone Crawford has said he'll restructure his deal. Now the difference is Sean Lee went to them and said, I will take a pay cut to stay. He reduced his salary to be able to come back last year, and he kept it at that salary for this year. Okay, you look at Drew Brees. Drew Brees got paid $25 million last year because he's keeping his number low. He did the same thing for this year and basically said, hey, you know what, I'm going to take 25 because I think Drew Brees is not like any other player. Drew Brees is a guy he gets it. Drew Brees is that guy who gave you everything he could with the Chargers, and they didn't believe in him. Miami wanted him, but they said, we're not sure we're going to take a chance with you. But for New Orleans to take the chance on him, he is on a totally different level, that he takes ownership of New Orleans. And for New Orleans going through Katrina and being part of that community, I met Drew Brees. This is like 2007, I think. Him and Mike McKenzie, I think it was, in New Orleans, and we were doing work with United Way there. He is tied to that community. That is home. That is family. And for him, he realizes the end is near. I don't need to fleece the team. I've got more than enough money, and I've got this whole city that no matter what, I will always be beholden to. that they will always look out for me and look at me as the guy who finally won them a championship. And he's trying to say, if I take that less money, maybe this next year or the year after, we have a chance to bring another one home to my city. And that is a beautiful thing. But that is not most players. Most players, I don't give a rat's ass. Kirk Cousins, I don't give a fuck. Excuse my language. But for Kirk Cousins to have gotten $88 million guaranteed, to then go ahead with Minnesota after playing like butt the first year and butt the first couple of games of the season, for him to turn around and get now $33 million, I don't care. Hey, I don't care. You can even look at Tom Brady and say, you know what, Tom Brady, I got Giselle. I got all the money I'll ever need in my lifetime. You know, let me go to Tampa Bay and say, hey, I'm going to take a, team-friendly deal so they can get some more people around me. He didn't. He took $30 million. I can't blame him. It's a job. You want to maximize your job. You may love the company you work for, but in the end, you want to make sure you make as much as you can from that company. Bring Rome up. You see what you did there, dude? You made me touch my face. You said stuff that is so freaking ridiculous that you literally made me touch my face. Tony Romo hasn't played meaningful football since, really, 2014. Let's be honest. You know what? I'm tired of this thing that you guys live in fantasy world and you believe that, a guy who has been injured 2015, 2016, and has been out of football since then, that you can actually believe, here it is 2020, that he can automatically come back and do something he couldn't do when he was younger, in shape, and playing football. Why would Tony Romo, who is the toast of the town, getting $17 million a year, okay? All he has to do is show up for 20 weeks a year, okay? Study and know what he's talking about. He's going to study and know what he's talking about. Have quality of life. Not have to risk his neck. Not to have people hate him. Can go to the links anytime he wants. If I want to try and be a pro golfer, I can do that. Why in the hell do you actually think you could bring Tony Romo back as a coach or as a player? Move on, dude. Move on. Oh, wait. Is that a Tampa? Reaper. What's up? Ripping that Reaper. How you like having Tom Brady there? We're going to prove you all wrong. We're not bums. We had a bad quarterback, but Brady hasn't had weapons like he's had in this years. Yeah, hey, Rip Reaper, shout out to you, man. You're going to be entered into our next drawing, so peace, man. Way to go. But I got to tell you, he's old. The mind's there, but you're going to get some good games. But as that season goes on, Rip, I think he's going to go downhill. Because, believe me, I understand, you don't understand. Rip, I don't know how old you are. Rip, how old are you? Rip. How old are you? See, when I was Michael Anthony's age, when I want to get out of bed, boom, I just pop right up. I run. You ever run it? You got the pickup truck. You got the tail hook, or not the tail hook, but the tow hitch. The tow hitch on my F-250, it sits out wide. I used to could bump into that. And I don't know if you've ever bumped into one of those, like come around the back of there and forget that it's there, bam, hit it. It used to be I'd hit that thing and boom, truck would shake. Oh shit, I hit that. And just keep on going. But now that I'm older, I hit that sucker, knee pops out of joint, fall on the ground, oh, it hurts for days. Days. I know now, if I've been out working a job and I've done a whole lot of work and everything else and pumped in, I put in the work. That next day, ooh, I don't pop out of bed like I used to. Oh, I'm a little sore. Give me the Advil. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be Tom Brady. Now, the interesting thing, this is what I can't wait to see. This is going to be telltale. Because We signed Maurice Cady. Yeah, we already knew that. What's the update? There's no update on Trufant at the moment. Here's what's going to be interesting. Let's all be honest that Tom Brady was treated with kid gloves when he was in New England. You remember in the playoffs where the guy went like this? Literally, he was being held. All he had was this arm like this, and it literally touched Tom Brady like this. And they called unnecessary roughness. You know, they changed the rules about hitting low when Tom Brady got hit. I'm wondering if Tom Terrific will get those calls like that this year, now that he's no longer in New England. Will they still treat him the same way? Because if they don't, that's the reason why his career's been so long. Let's be honest. You couldn't touch Tom Brady. If he were getting jacked up like Dak Prescott, his career would have already been over. That's a fact. They treat him differently than they treat anybody else. And I'm wondering if that will happen now that he's no longer in New England, that he's with Tampa Bay. I can't wait to see that one. Mark for Cowboys beat writer. Thank you, Brosy. Am I saying that right? Brosy? They don't want me. They look at me and say I'm too old. Oh, Daniel, shout out. I meant to send you a text this morning. There is my haterade cousin, Daniel Peterson. What, hey, Daniel, can you put an icon? Can you put an icon in there so that way we know you? You know, let's see your face. Or better yet, how about you put the skin with his hand over his face for your icon? Come on, Dan. Come on, Daniel. Daniel. Come on, man. You need an icon, all right? Shout out to my cousin because he was in the hospital having surgery and stuff. I'm hoping he's back home now. I'm going to put him on blast. You're going to be mad at because. But here was funny because he said he had to stay in for 2 days. Right? So I was up in D Creek and I'm texting a message. How's it going? How you feeling? Oh, everything went fine. Everything else. I'm like, when are you getting out? He's like, well, I can't leave till I fart. I said, what? He said, they won't let me leave until I pass gas. I said, well, shit, bro, let me bring you some chili. Oh, but yeah, let's go ahead and get some Taco Bell because that'll definitely make you, that would take care of business. But anyway, shout out to you, Daniel. I'm glad you're here hanging out. You're doing what I'm doing. Daniel, I'm going to ask you a question, though, dog. This is for real because, see, you're closer to Quantico than I am. Yesterday, about 3 o'clock, I was back here. I was doing some work in the backyard. And I had 3 military helicopters, which are, you know, DC's this way, Quantico's that way. And they flew straight up, 3 of them in a row, right over my house. Military ones. Okay? 3 of them. I don't usually see helicopters flying over the military. From time to time, Fairfax County, you know, see those come through here from time to time. But I had 3 of those yesterday. I was kind of like, that's unusual. Then today, I think about 3 o'clock today, 3 more military ones flew over about the same time, and they were headed down towards Quantico. And then just before I got online, you know, like the, I don't know what the name of these are, but it's a military helicopter that has the outwings on it, you know, the extra tanks on it, and it has like the rocket ports. Looks kind of like the Russian Hinds. One of those suckers flew over, and it's kind of like, shit. I don't know if they're planning something or getting something in place in case they shut everything down or what. But it was definitely something to kind of say, that's not the usual right now. So I'm curious if you see anything going on. They had the fires they were burning there in Quantico, you know, what, a week and a half ago? They're doing controlled burns. Or what other players? Well, Renee, we actually have a lot of players that are free agents. We actually had 26 that were free agents. Of course, we signed, you know, Dak to the franchise tag. We brought back Amari Cooper. Blake Jarwin, we ended up tendering him. Antoine Woods, he ended up getting the tender, I believe, as well. And already we've lost Byron Jones to Miami. Yeah, Byron Jones. We've lost, of course, Malik Collins to the Raiders, along with Jeff Heath and Jason Witten. Randall Cobb has gone to the Texans. So those are 5 right there that we've lost. Oh, and Robert Quinn to the Bears. So those are what we've lost. So there's still about 15 or so that are left. I'm hoping that we can bring back guys like Joe Looney. I think Joe Looney would be great. Oh, and Cam Fleming, he's actually gone to. We turned down the option on him, so he's actually a free agent as well. Eric Reed maybe is what's best. Chris Harris is off the market, so that's done. Oh my God! Forget Eric Berry. If Eric Berry had anything, somebody would have signed him last year. That guy is done. Yeah, Byron Jones, I'm okay with him going someplace. That was too much money. You couldn't spend that much on him. We did bring back Sean Lee. I forgot about that one. How you doing, Lloyd? Team Mazzola? Okay. Hector Vargas, how you doing? Ciafilo to the Bengals. Scarface 38. Need to get Snacks Harrison. Oh, I would love to get Snacks. And Trefont, we'll see. Should have kept Fleming. T-Bird. Cam Fleming, he was okay, but he got pushed around a lot. We have I can't think of his name now. A young guy that's actually pretty good that I think can be just as good as Cam Fleming. I'm trying to think. Rolando McClain or Sean Lee? I would say Sean Lee because Rolando McClain was one of those guys who could just get out of bed and could play football really well when he wanted to, but he hasn't played for 3 years. And it's a thing of, does he want to play or does he not want to play? Notable free agents: Tom Brady, $30 million. Ryan Tannehill, $29 million. Drew Brees, $25 million. Amari Cooper, $20 million. Byron Jones, $16.4 million. So those are notable free agent signings, average value. So when we think about $30 million men now, so now we've got Matty Ice, we got Tom Brady, we got Wentz in golf, we got Aaron Rodgers, we got Russell Wilson, we got Drew Brees. So we got 7 guys, and Dak Prescott. We got 8 guys in the 30 million plus range. I need to make an LSU rack soon. Tramel, if you want one, go ahead and just tell me, Mark, go ahead and order one and say I want LSU colors. The nice thing about it is Home Depot, they have Glidden colors, which are team colors, the official colors. So what I can do is I just buy like the sample size, small container. Perfect, because they'll do like 2 or 3 racks. So if you want something like that, please feel free to order it. So yeah, do that, because I got time, buddy. I got them ready to go. All I got to do is pick up some paint, and it would be good before they close down the stores. Hey, we have to try and score 40 burgers all year. We need a line. Hey, thank you. Do I think it's possible, Corey? The thing about winning a Super Bowl is you got to have everything go right, and you got to have some luck on top of it. Sometimes you can be the best team and you're not the one that wins the Super Bowl. It's just crazy. Jerry P., your ignorance is showing. Ooh, boy, don't mess with Tierra. Tierra will rip you a new one. Are the Cowboys shipping Anthony Brown? Not that I know of. We always need Jesus Christ. Randy, cool. Because you know what? I need some more work to do in the workshop. So please, that would be great. I actually need to see if I can get some more boxes and ship them out as well. Chances we get Snacks, I think you would have a better chance of getting Snacks than Clowney. Clowney wants too much damn money, and I'm not sold on that guy. Yeah, Tierra, you're right. You know, that's the thing about Washington. You're going to get paid, but it may be the end of your career. So you're like, nah, bro, I'm good. I'm good. I ain't trying to hear that noise. Anthony Brown's a free agent, right? I believe Anthony Brown is. How do you become a member? Let me see. Let me see if I can pull it up from here. Hold up. Hang on. How you become a member. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Hold up. Weed and Boys. I don't know why I don't ever have this thing. There's because it doesn't work sometimes on some phones and stuff. It always works on the desktops. If you go on the desktop, right beside the subscribe button, it has the join button. The join button is how you become a channel member. I need to start putting that in my description and put a link on it, because people always say, how do I become a member? And when you become a member, I send out shot glasses, and I still have 40 in stock. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get more of them with everything that's going on right now, if they're actually going to be working or not. Okay, almost there. Ta 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 ta. And if I can get 2 more channel members, we can get another icon. Okay, I think I got it. The internet is kind of slow out here, so that's how you join. There we go. And if you're interested in getting one of the shot glass racks, go to cowboyjobu.com and go all the way to the bottom, and that's where I have them. My buddy Derek from Megabytes, I was talking to him today because we're going to be doing some new stuff. He's going to be helping me with my website, which is trash. He didn't want to say it's trash, but he said it was trash. He's going to help me redo the whole website, and he was telling me of ways that I can actually do podcasts real easy. And I'm like, okay, that's what I need. Somebody who actually knows what they're doing, as opposed to me being the old guy who's technology challenged. So we're going to be doing a whole lot of new things, and as you become a member, you'll be able to get these benefits and stuff that's, you know, from being a member and stuff with it. But we're going to redo the website. We're going to be getting some different equipment. We're going to be trying to take this to another level. We ended up going on a road trip all the way to Dallas to the draft with Foots. We do live streams from time to time together as well. But yeah, Foots is actually not that far from me. He's actually the same area. Texans made that magic move to, oh my God. Can you know, that makes you realize that they are one of the worst run organizations out there, that O'Brien should not be a GM. You know, I actually said at least the Texans made that move because it makes the Cowboys look not quite as dumb, because I thought for sure we lost Amari Cooper. But hats off to the Cowboys. I got to say they did a good job in keeping him, so getting him signed. So I'm, you know, I have to eat my words and take it back. I see Antoine Washington. Welcome to the membership, buddy. Send me your address to cowboysmark94@gmail, so that way I can get your shot glass put together. There's a real live idiot in the chat. I repeat, approach with caution. Which idiot would that be besides me? Slay or Trufant? I might say Trufant. He got 4 interceptions last year. That's something we don't get. Could you imagine if we had a cornerback that actually got 4 interceptions? You know, think about that. Trufant got 4 interceptions last year. Byron Jones got 2 in his career. Well, thank you, Antoine. I appreciate that, man. So make sure you email me, cowboysmark94@gmail. So everybody, I hope you're having a happy new year. Oh, no. Not giving up anything for him. No. That's too much. They want a first round for him? Nah. Jerry P. Is he just a hater or just stupid? Tierra. Corey, you're very welcome, man. You like Slay, but I don't like him enough for a number one pick. What's my thoughts on Dez? Stay away. I'm sorry. This is like somebody saying bring Tony Romo back. Dez has not been healthy since the 2014 season, which was a monster year. He's been away from football too long, and he's just on social media too much. You know, I think, you know, it's a great story to hear how much he loves Dallas and wants to come back. But, you know, heck, I could go ahead and be out there on, you know, say, hey, I want to work in Dallas too, but it doesn't mean I'm the best thing for the Cowboys. So Jerry, okay, well, you're entitled to your opinion, Jerry, but definitely, Tierra, I think you were spot on about him. Shane, how you doing today? Stay away, Dez. I have to agree with you on that one. I think. Okay, so some people say, okay, so you let Randall Cobb go, we can go ahead and bring Dez in. Dez is not a slot receiver. You could put Amari as a slot receiver, but that means then Dez is going to be a number one. And I'm not sure that you want to rely on Dez being a number one again because he's coming off the Achilles tendon injury. He had the knee injury. I mean, he's had a multitude of injuries. And he got a lot of drops. A lot of drops. Well, I would go get AB. Too much money and too much baggage. Sorry, don't want that. NFL just offered NFL Game Pass for free. Go get it now. It's normally $1. I mean, $100. You know, they got it set up where they take it out automatically August 1st for me. I wonder if they're going to give me a break. Probably not. They'll still be charging me. Art Alexander, you might be our number 250. Thank you very much. So we can get some more emojis. So Jet, you got work to do, buddy. Thank you very much for becoming part of the crew, man. Email me at cowboysmark94@gmail so I can get you your shot glass. And when you get your shot glass, y'all, you got to send me a picture with you in the shot glass because you know the Cowboys, they're going to make you drink. Gallup is my guy. Jazz passed up the contract. Oh, my God. Jazz passed up a 3-year, $21 million deal with Baltimore? Yeah, he can still play someplace else. Do I think we signed Emmanuel Sanders? I think you can probably get him for a reasonable price, and I think he would go well with this offense. He is a little old, but you've got your major producers in Amari and Gallup. You know, I don't need you to get 1,000, yards. Chris Law, thank you very much for becoming a member. Send me your address to cowboysmark94@gmail so that way we can get you your shot glass as well. My wish list, Emerson Griffin. Oh my God, if we got that guy. Oh man, Emerson, but I think that's going to be a big chunk of cheddar. Am I doing a mock? I don't do mock drafts so much because it's a lot of work. And generally speaking, it really doesn't mean shit because you can't actually, it's just like, Todd McShay and those guys, they do like 50 mock drafts and they keep changing and evolving. And then if they get 20% right, it's considered a great mock draft. I don't really do that much. Do I think the season will start on time? I think it's possible. It may be different than what we're used to. You're hearing some testing that's going on and some different things that are going on with coronavirus. You don't know what to believe. You've seen like China say that it cut down. The good thing right now is that everybody in China does not have this. That's the good news, or at least that's what we think. We don't have exact knowledge of it, but to see South Korea go through and their numbers go down and become manageable as well as some other countries, that maybe we hit through this peak maybe they come up with a treatment for it or a vaccine and things like that, and it then becomes, something. But right now we're going through this whole thing in the unknown. So looking at the start of the season being not until September, it's April, May, June, July, August, 6 months away. Who knows? We can hope that it will be. I pray that it is. I pray that this thing we start getting a handle on sooner than later. I think that's almost why that maybe they should look at saying, let's shut everything down right now for the short term, for a couple of weeks, get a handle on it, and then we can get back to business. Ciafilo to Cincy. Wow. So that's another one that's lost. I agree with you, Surface. But we have been on for an hour. It is now Happy New Year. I got 3 new members here. I got a super chat in here. So everybody who did a super chat, we're adding you guys. We're going to do some more drawings. We'll do those on Friday's show on there. Members, make sure you email me at cowboysmark94@gmail so that way we can get you your shot glass. I've got to actually go reboot the router so we can see if we can get our signal a little bit better, because my wife is working too, and I'm out here using some of the bandwidth, and we need to make sure that we can take care of business. But stay close to the channel. I'm going to be posting all kinds of stuff. I'm doing a video a day of fighting the boredom of being locked in or staying at home. So check out that. It'll be a whole playlist and stuff, and we're going to be doing some special stuff for you members only as well. So as always, friends, you ain't got to go home, but it's time to turn out the lights because this party is over.